Thanks for joining us. I'm here with Sampath. He's one of the production team behind this fantastic feature foreign language film, The Other Half, for representing his film at Fusion London. Congratulations. Welcome to our festival.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're more than welcome. So can you tell us your direct involvement in this film and also perhaps give us a synopsis of what this film is about?
Yeah, so I'm representing our production team here.
Yeah.
So our director or the main actors can't make it today, so
Yeah.
I'm here to represent the film.
You're
and the
based in
production.
London, I guess?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do have connection to the film, and where the films are produced to Shraddha TV production back in Sri Lanka. So that's where I'm coming from, actually.
Okay.
So in terms of the synopsis of the film, so it is about a rural village in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
In northern central part of the Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That's where the chronic kidney disease is currently having a major impact.
Yes, quite heartbreaking, this film, actually.
Yeah, so that is actually a reality, so a real issue in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So the film is made in that context. So there is a poor family who are poisoned by these agrochemicals
Yeah.
and pesticides and all the agrochemical associated heavy metals in the area. So
Yeah.
that eventually leads to
Well, poison, isn't it? frankly?
poison. Yes,
It's poison.
It is. So the whole family and the whole village is poisoned by those agrochemicals.
Yeah.
So due to that reason, Ruansari's father, deceased, died, and then that brings his mom to look after their family.
And the boy, actually.
Yeah, and the two boys.
Or the two boys, sorry.
Yeah, two boys, and their grandfather. So that responsibility comes to Ruansari's mom, and then you have these two boys that are twins, but identical in the appearance, but they behave in
Totally different ways.
different ways.
Yeah, yeah.
So Ruansari is more sensitive, and he is more attached to their family.
Yeah.
Whereas the Kamalsari is completely different, and he is not that sensitive. He's not attached to the family, but he is good at maths and learning. Whereas Ruansari is good at art and singing. So that is the main theme of the film. So the film focuses on the two parts of the Sri Lankan society where some people good at maths and some people good at art. So instead of having a teacher-centered education, how you should transform Sri Lankan education to a more student-centered education is the main topic of the film.
And thank you for that. And how did you become, so were you involved in film production before, or was this your first film?
No, this is our first film, actually. But our director is a veteran in teledrama industry back in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
However, this is his first film.
Yeah.
But the actors, like the maths teacher,
Yeah.
is a veteran actor in Sri Lanka, so he's been awarded in many awarding ceremonies and all that. So as the grandfather, so yes, this is the first film for Shraddha Productions and for the director, but we got some experience coming with us with all the actors and all that.
So tell me how the child actors, how did you recruit them? Where did they come from? How was that? Because you need the children, it's very specific.
Yes.
How was that arrived at?
Yes, they are actually. We are running a charity back in Sri Lanka. So they are funded by the donation. So we are running a Buddhist school. So that's
Buddhist school?
Buddhist school.
Right, okay.
So these two actors are students or pupils of that school. So,
Right.
so that's how we got to know them. And
Yeah.
so when we were looking for identical twins for the team, so we came across with these two students.
Because I suppose you could have used one actor and doubled him, but it's difficult to do that.
It's difficult to do that.
Yeah.
So, and then we had to train them because it's their debut film as well.
Because they're very natural in it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So that's the credit goes to our director. So the director had been teaching them for a while, for about 3-4 months at their home, basically teaching from A to Z how they would act and how they face the camera and all that.
And how were you with no film experience, how were you brought into it? Was it because of the charity?
Yeah, because of the charity. So our aim of this Shraddha charity is to bring those issues to the society and to attention of the country and those who are responsible, because we are mainly talking about two issues here, the need for transformation of the education system and the kidney disease and what we should do. So the charity focuses on those two areas. In fact, whatever the revenue we are going to have on this film is going to go towards the project called the Pure Water for Everybody. So we are going to install new water purification centers in those areas. So that's where our charity comes into play in this area.
So you've never involved in making a film before. I'm assuming you were there sometimes when the film was being made. Was it much more complicated than you thought it would be? I mean, what's your impression of filmmaking?
It was actually, because we had the experience of the director and the actors doing the Trailer Drama Center, so it gave us some confidence and easiness. However, it was a difficult task.
It's tough. It's a tough thing,
it's tough. So looking back, yes. So we've made some progress, but there are areas that we've learned lessons, so probably we'll take them into our next step.
Did you enjoy it though?
Yes, we did actually. Especially, it's not only the technical side or the direction side. We had to finance this.
Yeah, well, of course.
And that's aspect of as a charity, so everything was made by the donations. So yeah, it was a challenge, but we will learn a lot from this process. Now we know what to do better next time.
So can you tell me a little bit more about I know this is the whole point of the film, about the kidney, how the kidneys are disrupted and destroyed by the heavy metals and poisons. I'm guessing it's something that's not very well known about, and yet is a massive problem in Sri Lanka.
Yes, it is. Especially the north central part of the Sri Lanka is where all the paddy fields are, all the paddy cultivations are, where the rice is grown.
Sorry, and is this because of, I know this is touched on the film, but just to give us an example of how the water is, how the poison and heavy metals and so on are seeping into the system.
Yes.
Is it through poor irrigation or poor sanitation? If you can.
So what used to happen in the area is that people have been cultivating rice for thousands of years, but back in last 30-40 years they have been using these substandard agrochemicals in the area.
Right.
So to get a good harvest, a bumper harvest, they've been using it continuously. So the residues of the pesticides and the agrochemicals gone into the groundwater, and the groundwater got contaminated in that area.
So the people, so you may have bumper harvest and it produces the rice. I'm assuming the rice isn't affected, but it's the people working.
Yes, it's the people working, because they use the water from the dug wells, from groundwater, for their day-to-day living. They drink it, they cook with them, so the groundwater, contaminated groundwater goes into their kidneys. So kidneys can't cope with them.
They're damaged.
They're damaged. The issue is the symptoms don't appear unless that get critical. So there is a rare chance of getting someone cured when it is diagnosed.
Because it's too late.
Yeah, so it's too late.
So what happened? Well, presumably they die because.
Yeah, they die. So up to date, there are about 50,000 deaths due to this chronic kidney disease.
So now, has it been alleviated, or is it still going on?
It's still going on. So recently they've diagnosed around 200,000 people in that area. So that's about 20% of the entire population in that province.
Oh my God.
So one in every family has got this. So if you don't act on this now, it's going to be a massive disaster for the entire Sri Lankan society.
So by the time you have the symptoms, it's too late?
It's too late.
Your kidneys are beyond repair?
So for the time, to date, we managed to install some 40 water purification plants in 40 villages, but there are around 600 or 700 villages in that region only.
So the mechanism's in place to draw out clean water, but it's obviously too late for the people that are affected.
Too late.
And you need a lot more to clean it all up.
Yes.
So what's happened to the companies that have produced this material, this agro?
They are still there. That's the other issue.
Still producing it?
Yeah. So we are trying to make the society aware by producing this movie to not use those chemical and use the organic methods. That's what the methods we've been using for thousands of years in Sri Lanka.
But the problem is, everyone wants to harvest.
Yeah, but now they have started to realize the consequences of them, because every family has a member who's got affected. So, but the issue is now North Central province of Sri Lanka is quite remote, so the issue is well not known to the whole country.
Yeah.
So we are trying to raise the awareness of the entire country by this movie.
Yeah.
At the same time, we are talking about the educational system transformation.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, we don't realise how lucky we are in this country, do we, really?
No, we don't.
You know, when you compare it to this, you know, because if that happened in the UK, there would be absolute uproar, wouldn't there?
It is.
There would be people hauled, you know, thrown in prison, and all sorts of stuff would happen, you know, the public wouldn't put up with it. So, what is your daytime job, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I'm working as a senior commercial manager for Transport for London here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm quite familiar to this city. I've been living here almost 8 years now.
Okay.
But I can see, so I've been back in Sri Lanka in last December, so I've been there for 5 weeks. I've been traveling in that area actually, so I can really feel the need for those people who are affected by this. So in later this year in summer, so we are planning to have some screenings in the UK. So we are making those arrangements. So we will hopefully make some income, and then all the income that we make will go to a water purification center or purification centers back in Sri Lanka.
Fantastic, Sampath. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for time.
No, that was wonderful and great to talk to.